This is lesson 109, Algebra 2, more on fractional exponents. And we've already learned the power rule and the different things with exponents. So if we have like 2x squared and then we cube that, that means everything in there is cubed. The 2 is cubed and the x squared is also cubed. But notice, there's no symbol, there's no plus or minus or multiplication or division sign between those two. And remember, when you have 3x, what does that mean? That means 3 times x. Or 4y, that means 4 times y. We don't, or if I have xy, it means x times y. There's no symbol in there to show me what I'm supposed to do. It's just an assumed multiply. Same thing here. There's no symbol there, so it's an assumed multiply. Okay, if I had 3, let's just make it variables. If I had x squared times x cubed, now these are side by side, that's going to be x to the 2 plus 3. But because I have a parenthesis, and this 3 here is on a different level, it's up higher, we multiply. So whatever way you can use to remember, it's like there's no sign, they're on different levels or whatever. That's the power rule. That's when you multiply. This is a different rule for multiplying exponents as you add the exponent. Okay, so let's look at these because they're making a little bit of a tweak, but not too much. Let's look first of all at something like this. Okay, so each one of those terms is squared. So 2 is squared. X, because notice again, this 2 is above this 2, it's multiply. Y is multiply. Z is multiply. Okay, so there's my answer. One of the things that you've got to understand too, and this is just like some preliminary stuff, we really haven't gotten into the lesson. If you have something like this, that is not x to the 4th plus y to the 4th. Many students do that. Even in way upper level math, they do that. This means x squared plus y squared times x squared plus y squared. You use the FOIL method. So please don't just take the easy way out and think you can square these. This plus sign keeps you from being able to do that. If that is a plus or a minus sign, you cannot just use the power rule like we did up here. See, there's no plus or minus sign separating any of these. So then you can just apply this 2 to each one of these. But when there's a plus or a minus sign, you can't apply that 2. You have to use the FOIL method. Okay, so just some things to be conscientious about as we go into this lesson. All right, so the first one, 109.1 example, tells you to expand. Okay, that's a 1/2 power. That's a 1/4 power. That is just a z, and we are cubing that. So what does that mean? That means each of these terms gets a cubed. Okay, so the 2 cubed is 8. The x to the 1/2 cubed, we multiply those. So 3 times 1 is 3 over 2. Y is going to be 3 times 1 is 3 over 4, and z just has a cubed on it. That's okay to have fractions in your exponent position. I mean, that's what we've got. You're kind of stuck with them. All right, so let's go to the next example. X to the 1/2 plus y to the 1/2, and we're going to square that. Okay, so remember what that means? X to the 1/2 plus y to the 1/2 times x to the 1/2 plus y to the 1/2. All right, let's do the FOIL method. do this in red. I hate the light red they have here and the light blue. It's ugly. I like the darker colors. Okay, let's go with blue here. All right, so remember FOIL, F-I-R. Oh golly, FOIL. Let's spell FOIL right. Where I got F-I-R. I was going to write F-I-R-S-T for some reason. Okay. So first, this times this. X to the 1/2. What I do is I just stick them together like that, because that means multiply, right? Then I do the outside. Then I do the inside. Then I do the last. Okay? So, put those together. 1/2 plus 1/2 is 1, right? Okay, again, you're adding. You're not using the power rule because they're at the same level. These here, how many of these do I? How many x to the 1/2, y's to the 1/2? I have 2 of them. And then these two together, y to the 1, which you can just kind of get rid of that 1 and that 1 and just be left with that answer right there. Okay, this is 109.3. Notice there's a little difference here. There's a negative sign here, but we're going to write it twice because we have to use the FOIL method. So that times that. Okay, so let's do first. So we're going to multiply that times that. And again, I'm just sticking them together because I'm multiplying, so I can just write them like that to start with. Then the outside. Then the inside. Then last. Oops, negative 1/2. Okay, now let's put things together. Put it in black here. X, because 1/2 and 1/2 is 1. 2, because I have two of these, plus negative 1/2 plus negative 1/2 is going to be what? Negative 1. So x plus 2x to the 1/2, y to the negative 1/2, plus y to the negative 1. That's it. That's all there is to that lesson. So 8 minutes and you're good to go.